Julia, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be yet another get ready with me. Who am I? 2 get readies with me in a row? Today I'm going to be doing my full face for you guys on camera, testing out a bunch of new makeup releases and new makeup in my collection. So I have a ton of new things that I'm really excited to test out for you guys. Among those would be the new Too Faced Born This Way Ultimate Coverage Concealer thingy. This is the multi-use sculpting concealer. I'm very excited about this one. I'm also finally testing out Nabla Cosmetics. I have the Dreamy palette here, and I use this palette to create today's eyeshadow look. I'll be using the new Decay Scarlet palette as well. This is the Decay Scarlet edition number 9 in collaboration with Belle Jordan. I'm also going to be testing out the Hailey's Reset Liquid Matte Foundation, which is from a new indie brand that is available at Target. And those are just some of the new releases and new makeup that I'm testing out in this video. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is the makeup look we created. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm giving you guys a detailed, kind of chatty, get ready with me style video, talking through each step of makeup application, as well as just some other topics. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys find it interesting, and let's get right into the video. Okay, we're gonna get started. It's like 100 degrees outside. California summers are no joke. So I'm gonna start off with primer. I'm gonna be using the Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer from First Aid Beauty. First Aid Beauty is one of my favorite skincare brands, and I love that they're kind of like a mid-priced skincare brand at Sephora. You've got like Tarte, which is like $60 for a moisturizer, which is very, very expensive. And then there's like Sunday Riley, Drunk Elephant, but I feel like First Aid Beauty is a bit more reasonably priced in terms of Sephora's skincare brands. Their stuff ranges around like $20 to $30 per product, which I think is awesome. This is like a hydrating primer moisturizer, and I'm going in with a matte foundation, so I like to kind of balance everything out in terms of what I use as a base. And since I've kind of honed my favorites, like the Tatcha Silk Canvas, Becca First Light, I've kind of been able to see what effect primers have on my skin, and I've really been enjoying them. So this one is a nice hydrating primer. It's kind of similar, in my opinion, to the Too Faced Hangover RX. It's just really nice and hydrating and awesome for summer. So I really like this one. First Aid Beauty was kind enough to send this one to me in PR through Octoly, so just testing it out for the past couple days, I've been really enjoying it. So this is a great hydrating base, and we're gonna move on to foundation next. For foundation today, I'm using the Hailey's Reset Liquid Matte Foundation. This is a new brand at Target. Target just opened up a bunch of new indie brands to their beauty section, so they have a lot of really cool new releases. This is one of them, and I've been very excited to try this one out. I've been testing this for quite a while. Tati actually beat me to reviewing this one, and she really enjoyed it. So today I'm going to be testing it out on screen. This is like my 3rd or 4th time using it. I really like this bottle. It is very, very sleek and just looks so luxurious. I am in the shade 2.15 Neutral. I'm just going to start with this amount and then add on more if I need to. I'm going to blend with my Sigma 3D HD Precision Sponge. Still love my AOA Studio one a lot, but this one is really great for kind of just getting into very small, precise places. So I love this for concealer, and it's awesome for blending out your foundation. I'm so happy to announce that I am now a Sigma affiliate. As you can see, it's like a nice medium to full coverage. I feel like you could build this up to be very full coverage. But it's a really nice satin matte finish, and it blends so easily. I've noticed that it's just so easy to work with. So that is the foundation. I'll blend it out on the skin. This was very easy to blend. I find that it just diffuses and kind of sinks into the skin and looks like your actual skin. My favorite part about this foundation is actually the finish that it has when you blend it out. I feel like this is my ideal skin look. It's not super, super matte to a point where it looks dry, but it's not shiny either. This is just what I want my skin to look like after I've done all my steps of makeup. So I love how it looks right now. I will be wearing it throughout the day, and then I'll give you guys a 8-hour, 9-hour update to see what it looks like after some wears. So that is the Hailey's foundation. These are $20 each. I believe you can find them at most Targets, but I think your best bet for getting it would be online. Now for concealer, I'm really excited about this one. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I've heard so many awesome reviews about this one. So many people have been raving about it. So very excited to try it out today. You get half a fluid ounce in here, which is half the size of a standard foundation and like almost 3 times the size of a standard concealer. So this is gigantic. It's supposed to be kind of similar to the Tarte Shape Tape, but a lot more natural looking and less like cakey, I guess. So it's supposed to have very full coverage. I'm in the shade Almond. I got Almond because that is the same shade that I wear in their foundations. So I figured I'd try it out. You get a huge doe-footed applicator, and I'm just gonna apply it. It seems to be pretty much the same shade as my skin tone, so we're not really gonna be getting like a brightening or highlighting effect. I normally like to go a bit lighter with my concealer, but I'm just gonna apply like a pretty decent amount to my under eyes, maybe a little bit on my chin as well, and then just everywhere that I normally apply concealer. I'm gonna blend it out now. The funny thing is, I don't think I've used Tarte Shape Tape in a couple months. Ever since the Tarte Shape Tape foundation controversy happened, I've kind of just been using a bunch of other concealers, testing out a ton of new concealers. And it's not because the Tarte Shape Tape is like a bad formula by any means. I still love it, and every time I do use it, I'm reminded of, oh, this is a good concealer. But I think that whole scandal that went down was a good thing for me because it gave me an opportunity to like just try out new things and diversify my portfolio of like what I've tried so far, so I can give you guys new reviews. And so far I've found some really awesome concealers, and so far I've been very happy with what I've been testing out. That looks beautiful on the under eyes. As you can see, it's very full coverage, so it did cover up all the dark circle. For some reason it just looks very light. It almost looks like I'm not even wearing concealer. It just looks like I have perfect skin. So that's a first because I don't have perfect skin, but I love how this looks. This looks beautiful and a little bit less heavy than the Tarte Shape Tape. So if this one wears as long as Tarte Shape Tape, I think this could be my new favorite concealer. So very excited about this one. I'm going to bake my under eyes with the AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder in Matte Translucent. This is a fairly new release. AOA Studio has a bunch of different setting powders, and for some reason all of them have like shimmer in them. So they finally released a matte one without any shimmer, and I'm very excited. So I'm just kind of lightly baking the under eyes. I'm not quite sure about the like flashback situation with this powder. To be honest, I don't really care about flashback because I don't go anywhere that would where flash photography would be an issue for me. I can see how that would be an issue for influencers who are going out every day to like beauty events, or for, I don't know, anyone who goes around flash photography, but for me, I don't really do that. I'm kind of a homebody. Flashback's not a huge issue unless I'm going to like Vegas or something. And now to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the AOA Studio Perfect Finishing Press Powder. So I did talk about this one quite a bit in my AOA Studio like haul and review thing, but this is a new release as well. They released a bunch of pressed setting powders in a few different colors. So I picked up the shade Porcelain, which is, I believe, the lightest tinted shade. They do have a translucent one. So I'm just gonna dip in here. It's not quite as nice as my Charlotte Tilbury one, but I mean, is anything gonna be as nice as Charlotte Tilbury? Probably not. So pretty happy with this one, especially considering that it is $1. Just lightly fluffing it all over my face. Not going too heavy-handed because it is a matte foundation. Alright, skin is looking nice and smooth. I'm going to move on to the contour part now. Moving on to cheek products. In this video today, I'm trying out a couple things from Nabla Cosmetics. So for contour, I'm going to go in with the Nabla Contour Powder in the shade Gotham. This one was recommended by Jay Kissa, and I did purchase quite a few things from Nabla Cosmetics. I got their concealer, the Dreamy palette, which I'm going to be using today in this video, and then this contour powder here. It costs like an arm and a leg to be shipped here because you can only buy them from like Europe and the UK. So I purchased from House of Beauty UK. A very smooth buying experience, and shipping wasn't as high as I expected it to be, so very happy with how everything arrived. Gonna be testing this one out today. It's a very nice cool tone, kind of fair contour shade. They do have quite a few different cheek shades for contouring on their website. I'm just gonna dip in here with my e.l.f. blending brush and go to town. Since it's such a fair shade, I feel like it's very subtle on me, but it still looks very nice and sculpted, and you can tell that it actually did make a difference. This is really nice. I'm gonna do the sides of my nose as well. Alright, I really like how this contour performs. It blended out very easily and just looks nice and soft on my skin, so enjoying that. And I don't normally love powder contouring just because I feel like cream looks more natural, but this one, since it's such a nice light shade on me, I think it's really beautiful. And I love that Nabla was able to kind of nail down that cool toned color. A lot of brands I see come out with really warm toned contours, and it's not supposed to be a bronzer color because the like natural shadow of your cheekbone is cool toned. So I love the color, and I think it's a really beautiful contour shade on me. Now to kind of carve out the nose contour, I'm going to go back in with the AOA Studio Porcelain Pressed Powder and just sculpt the sides of my nose as well. Alright, so contoured. Now we're going to move on to bronzer. So I just wanted to use the Marc Jacobs Coconut Bronzer today because I love this one and I've been using it nonstop. And look at this color. It's a perfect like neutral brown color. But also I wanted to find a good dupe for you guys because I know not everyone wants to spend $49 on a really nice bronzer. So I'm going to try out the e.l.f. Fiji Matte Bronzer. This is from the Fiji Duo, so you get a blush in here as well, which is a beautiful kind of coral toned shade. But these colors to me look very, very similar. So I figured I would try one on each cheek and see if they're similar. So I'm going to go into the Marc Jacobs bronzer, just lightly dust a bit off and go ahead and apply it. I used a bit of brush cleaner, just wiping off my brush so that it's not covered in the Marc Jacobs one. Now we'll go into the e.l.f. bronzer. I feel like both of those look very, very similar. They're not too orange in tone. They're just a nice neutral brown bronzer. So I think that if you didn't want to spend $49 on this big Marc Jacobs pan, you could totally get the e.l.f. one. I believe this split pan here is $4. So huge price difference. You are getting a bit more product in terms of the Marc Jacobs bronzer. You also get the amazing, beautiful formula, the blendability, and also the delightful smell. Still, I think the e.l.f. one is a great color dupe. So I'm very happy with how these both performed, and I really like that. So let me know if you want to see kind of a part 2 to the big dupes video I did. I would love to share some more dupes with you guys. That was a really fun video to make, so let me know if you want to see that. For blush and highlight, I'm going to use the New Deck of Scarlet edition number 9 palette. This one was in collaboration with GRWM, who's one of my favorite beauty YouTubers here. I think this is my favorite palette that they've ever done. I love the color scheme of this. Kind of looks very similar to the Norvina palette that's coming out very soon, which I am picking up because I pick up everything from Anastasia Beverly Hills that they release. Here's the entire palette. You get 2 lip shades in here, 3 eyeshadows, and then 2 cheek products. So you get a blush and a highlight usually. I'm gonna use these 2 products here today. Let's go into the blush first. This is a beautiful color. It's called Whisper. It's a really nice kind of plummy neutral tone blush. I love that it's a bit darker than your typical kind of taupey blush like this one. So I feel like this is gonna be nice and neutral, but still have a great amount of depth to it. Kind of almost like a wine hue, but very muted as well. So I think this is beautiful. It's very pigmented, so go in with a very light hand, but blend it out and it just looks gorgeous. Very impressed with this blush here. And then for highlighter today, I'm gonna use this shade here. It's called Shh. So really nice, like light champagne shade. Let's try it out. Wow, that's very, very blinding. I'm very impressed. And yeah, I'm not getting that like dark cast that I do when I look forward with most highlighters. I feel like it's a nice fit for my skin tone. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. I really hope it is because that's insane. Let's do the other cheekbone to make sure I'm not going insane. So I'm using my favorite highlighter brush, the Morphe Y14. Wow, I want to put that everywhere, so let's do that. Lip, nice. Nose, brow bone. That is stunning. So I'm very impressed with how this highlighter performs. Both the cheek products are awesome. I'll continue to test out the eyeshadows and the lip products in here. They seem to be very nice quality, and I will share with you guys a final review in my new makeup releases, favorites and fails for July. So very impressed so far. All right, I'm ready to start on eyeshadow now, so I'm just gonna take my sponge and get rid of the bake that I have. I'm just lightly pressing in the translucent powder under my eyes. Instead of using a brush to brush it away, which I can kind of find disturbs like the foundation underneath, I find that this can kind of take away excess powder that I don't need while also making sure to press the powder into my skin so everything looks nice and smooth, and I just love how this looks. So this has been my favorite thing to do lately, doing the same thing on the sides of my nose. I'm just gonna prime my eyelids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Fix. Nothing ever changes here. And again, blending it out with my AOA Studio E104. Okay, so today for eyeshadow, I am so excited to be using the Nabla Cosmetics Dreamy Eyeshadow Palette. This I've heard so many great things about, so this was the main thing that I actually purchased all the things from Nabla for, but I added on the concealer and the contour just because I heard also amazing things, but this is the main B that I wanted. You guys know I'm so into purple eyeshadows. Surprisingly, this one only has like 3 purple shades in here, Lullaby, Inception, and Delirium, but Delirium is really calling to me. There's also a lot of really nice kind of berry tones, pink tones, rose golds. These shimmers look awesome, and the mattes are awesome too. So I've used this once before, but still kind of getting my first impressions in there. So today on camera, I'm going to be using it for the second time, and let's get right into the eye look. Alright, so I just did this eye off camera. I'm going to do the other eye on camera for you guys, and I will show you through each step close-ups of what the eye look looks like so you can kind of follow along if you'd like to. I tried to use as many shades as I could from the palette, so let's get right into this double cut crease. I don't even know what this is, look. I'm scooching my mirror in closer so I can just see what I'm doing, so I'm sorry that you're able to see it, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. This is a double cut crease. It's a fairly intricate look, but I found a couple strategies to make it a bit easier. So taking the concealer on my brush, I'm going to use tape to make this a bit easier. Just laying it right here in a diagonal line so we can create a nice sharp wing. I'm just going to kind of start from the inner part of the crease and just cut out the shape that I want my bottom cut crease to be. From there, I'm just building it out further along the lid, and then we're going to kind of wing it out at the end. Next, I'm taking a little detailed bullet packing brush and going into the shade here called Señorita. This is a nice kind of raspberry pink shade. If you apply this on top of a wet base, it shows up a bit darker, as in this color here, so that's kind of what I want. Just gonna pat that on to the outer corner into the wing. Just to clean up the top, I'm going to take that flat shader brush with whatever concealer is left on it and just go along the top of the cut crease to kind of clean up what might have gone over it. This is what it should be looking like so far. By the way, this is just one of those eye looks, again, that looks kind of crazy until you put the finishing touches on it, so it'll come together, I promise. Going into a wet flat shader brush, I'm using the Morphe M421. I'm first dipping into the shade Byzantine, and on the lid I kind of want to do a gradient effect of gold to rose gold to kind of rose on the outside. So first we're going into the true gold shade. Just patting that onto the inner part of the cut crease. As you can see, I already did my brows off camera. I kind of hate doing brows on camera anyways, but I didn't really have any new brow products to show you guys, so I just did my regular thing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I've done my brows on camera a couple times, so I'm sure you've already seen my kind of routine. It's very cut and dry. It's not really anything special. Something I have noticed though is that over the past couple months, my brows have gotten a bit like thinner and more precise, whereas like in January they were a bit thicker and more block brow-esque. I guess that was what was in back then, but I'll show you guys a side by side. I just posted like a progress photo of my makeup progress from January to now and on Instagram, and I noticed that my brows were like drastically different and a lot less thin, whereas my lips got a bit thicker because I've been overlining them quite a bit. So yeah, that was just funny. I've noticed my makeup style changing quite a bit over the past couple months. Now I'm taking the shade Rose Gold here. Using the same brush kind of helps blend these colors together a bit better on the eyes, whereas if I was switching brushes, you'd see a bit more of a starker contrast. Now finally, I'm going to go into the shade here called Metal Cupid. This is a beautiful kind of rose-toned shimmer. This has been calling to me, so I really wanted to use it today. Oh wow, yeah. This one's a bit more foiled than the rest of them. I find that this is a little more pigmented and easier to pick up than Rose Gold, but still really, really gorgeous. I'm just patting it on. I'm leaving a little bald spot here to fill up with raspberry. I'm going to go back into the shade Rose Gold. Finally back into the shade Byzantine. This is what it looks like now. Obviously there's a bald spot here. We're going to fix that up in a second. Back into the shade Señorita, and we're just going to close up that little gap here. And then if you find yourself needing to kind of clean up the top again, go ahead and do that now. So this is what the final bottom part of the cut crease should look like. Back into the shade Señorita, I'm going to use this very small detailed brush. And I'm just going to start buffing this about 2 millimeters above where the top of my bottom cut crease ends. So we're creating this little negative space in the middle, and this is just going to create this beautiful double winged effect. So that is the uppercut. Now I'm going to move into the shade Sistina, which is a beautiful kind of coral toned matte. This one is just a little bit lighter than Señorita, so we're going to use that to blend out the darker shade. Same brush, just going to go back in there and then buff that right on top. And then my favorite trick to kind of meld them together is to take that brush that I used to pack Señorita onto the bottom cut crease and just use that to blend them together again. So just going to kind of buff that through. And whatever residual pigment is left on this brush, we'll just kind of marry the two colors together. That is what it looks like all blended out. I'm so sorry, I just realized for the last step my camera cut out, so I didn't really do anything that groundbreaking. I just took, again, the shade Señorita and buffed it on the under eye. Can't go through this look without using the shade Delirium, so I'm just going to pat that on top of Sistina to kind of give a little bit of purple reflectiveness to the under eye. So just taking a nice bullet brush, this is the AOA Studio E134, and just going to kind of pat that on top. That is what it's looking like. I kind of like that you get that little bit of purple reflectiveness whenever your eyes catch the light in the right way, so I think that's really pretty. Now I'm just going to take the shade Immaculate, which is a white kind of inner corner shimmery highlight shade, but it also has kind of a gold shift to it, so just going to pat that on to the inner corner and a little bit onto the brow bone as well. Now we're gonna just finish it off with some mascara and lashes. I can push my mirror back a bit for this. For mascara, I'm going to use the new deck of Scarlet mascara. This will actually come in a set with the palette for $29.95. So I think it's an amazing deal for a palette and a mascara. And I believe this is their first ever mascara, so I'm very excited to see that. This is just called this is just the Sexy AF mascara in the shade Blackout. I think that's a cute name. From what it looks like, the brush just seems to be a standard spoolie type brush. Kind of like the Essence Lash Princess one. I prefer more spoolie type brushes like this one as opposed to plasticky brushes. Just going to use the mirror from the Deck of Scarlet palette. This is the eye with the mascara, this is the eye without. Just looking at it, I think it did a nice job of kind of lengthening the lashes. The main thing I saw really was just making the lashes blacker. It is the shade Blackout, and it did a really good job of kind of making my lashes black. And as silly as that sounds, that's kind of the main thing I look for in mascara. Since I do wear false eyelashes, I want my natural lashes to kind of meld with the falsies. I'll just do the other eye and we'll get into lashes. Finally, for lashes, I'm going to use the Blinking BEAUTE lashes in the style Samantha. They're nice and piecey and kind of flare out to the edge, so I think it's really pretty for emphasizing the cut crease work. As always, I'm using my House of Lashes lash adhesive to apply these. This one's more of a like dusty kind of rose shade. So I'm gonna go pop on an outfit, film the intro and the outro, and then I'm also gonna show you guys a like 9-hour update after I wear everything throughout the day. So I will give you guys my final thoughts on the products in that little update. Hey guys, it's around 5 o'clock right now, so I've been wearing my makeup since about, I started at 8 in the morning filming, so I'd say it's been a good 9-hour wear test. So I'm going to just go through my entire face and evaluate how everything wore. So the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer I think did a really nice job of hydrating everything, making my skin look nice and fresh and kind of feel just really plump and hydrated, especially during a really dry climate and a very hot day. Today was like 95 degrees average. It got around 100, which was horrible, but that's a California summer for you. So I think this did a really nice job of keeping my skin feeling nice and fresh. So I really like this one. The Haley's Reset Liquid Matte Foundation, I think it did a really nice job as well. I really like how it kind of wore throughout the day. When it went on, it was nice, kind of like a satin matte finish. And now, as you can see, it's a little bit more dewy. So I think this one kind of breaks in throughout the day as you wear it longer. It's not going to stay matte all day long, so if you're looking for that, I think go for the Fenty Beauty one, but this one is really beautiful for wearing very well. While it did get a little bit more dewy, I think it looks nice and healthy on the skin. The Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer I think did an amazing job as well. I feel like my under eyes look really, really amazing. I think this looks beautiful on the under eyes. They look very smooth. And I've tried the powder before many different times with other concealers. It has never performed as well as this one, so I do think that the under eyes are due to the concealer. I just saw really great coverage with this one, and it stayed very well throughout the day, so I really like this one a lot, and will definitely continue to test it. I think the powders are okay. They don't feel like super high quality, super expensive products, but for $1 each, I think these are awesome. So the matte translucent one that I used to bake, I did take a picture later and I didn't see any flashbacks, so I think this is perfectly fine. And then the pressed powder I think is gorgeous as well. Didn't keep me mattified all day long and didn't look as nice as my favorite one, which is Charlotte Tilbury, but I still think it's a really pretty one. I have both bronzers on the sides of the face and they pretty much look the same. I think the Marc Jacobs side looks a little bit smoother and stayed on it a little bit better, whereas this one I feel like faded just a tiny bit, but still like 99% they're the same. So I think that the e.l.f. one is a great dupe for the Marc Jacobs one, and I just really love these bronzers. The Deck of Scarlet Blush and Highlight, I think they look really pretty. The blush stayed on very, very well. You can still see the color on my cheekbones. The highlighter I feel like faded just a little bit. As you can see, when I turn my face, you can still kind of see a little bit, but that's kind of sweat and not so much highlight anymore. So I feel like the highlight did wear off just a tiny bit, but the blush stayed on amazingly. I think the contour powder looks really nice as well. I haven't seen any breaking up or wearing off anywhere that I contoured, including my nose and my cheekbones. Also, I just really like the tone. I think it's a really beautiful contour powder, especially for fair skin tones. So if you are around my skin tone, I think Gotham would be an amazing color for you. If not, I just think the formula is really beautiful, so you could definitely find a contour shade that will work for you. The Nabla Dreamy palette, just looking at my eye look, I think it looks really pretty. I don't think the colors faded throughout the day, and the shimmer stayed on very well. I think this lasted amazingly, considering the fact that it is like super hot. I'm very sweaty today. I think this stayed on very, very well. So I'm pretty much impressed with how everything wore actually, but the eyeshadow looks amazing. And one of the main problems for me with eyeshadow throughout the day is that sometimes my lower lash line color can kind of wear off, and this, I don't see anything happening. So that's really great. Just in general though, I really like the formula of this one. The mattes are amazing. They kind of feel almost like the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones, very soft, not quite as powdery though, but they blend so easily. And the shimmers are gorgeous as well. They're very soft and easy to pick up with a brush, and they just perform beautifully. Finally, the DECAY Scarlet Mascara. It's okay. It's a decent mascara. I do prefer my Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, but this one is really good at getting your lashes very black. So if you don't really wear just plain mascara and you do wear lashes, I think this could be a good one for you. But if you're wanting something that's going to be super voluminous and super lush and amazing, I think the Essence Lash Princess one is better, or even the Urban Decay Perversion one, which is my favorite. So this is okay. It's not a bad mascara by any means, but it's okay. I actually reapplied the lip color, obviously, because it is a satin lipstick, so it wouldn't last through eating. I did have lunch, so I had to wipe it off, and I just reapplied a second coat. So that is why the lipstick looks pretty much the same. But yeah, this is my 5 o'clock update, and I will get right into the outro for you guys. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed down below, and also make sure you're following me on Instagram for makeup looks like this one, posted every single day. Let me know in the comments down below, what makeup item from this video are you excited about? Are you going to try out any of these products? I hope you guys were able to get a nice thorough review on some of these so you can know whether or not you want to purchase them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of review, get ready with me, tutorial, I don't know what this is, video. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys give me. It really does mean the world, and I can't thank you guys enough. It means more than I could ever express in words. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you made it to the very end, I love you so much.